Hey guys, welcome to the first day of school. I'm Coach Massey. I'm going to be your 8th grade U.S. history teacher. As well, for some of you guys, I will be one of your coaches down in boys athletics, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys out on the field here pretty shortly. I just wanted to take a few minutes to introduce myself to you, tell you a little bit about myself. Then after I'm done with this, I'm going to go over some instructions for you for your first assignment. I'm going to have you tell me a little bit about yourself as well. Let's go ahead and get started on this. Growing up, I was an Air Force brat. That means my dad was in the military. He was in the Air Force. And if you know anything about the Air Force, they don't let people stay in one place very long. We move around quite a bit. So about every 3 years when I was a kid, we were moving somewhere. I was born in Georgia. We moved not too long after that to Florida, stayed there for about 3 years, and we moved again to Germany, stayed there for about 3 years, and we moved back to Florida, and we actually got to stay there for quite a while till I was probably about 12 years old. That's when my dad decided to retire from the Air Force, and he actually got a job working for a company called General Dynamics, which is now called Lockheed, which is over here on the west side of Fort Worth. And when he went to work for General Dynamics, that's when we moved out here to Texas. So I was about 12 years old, about 6th grade, when we came out here. Been here ever since. Currently, I am married. I have a wife. Her name is Sarah. I have 3 children. I have Amron, Katie, and Henry. Chastity here is married to my oldest son, Amron. He's 24 years old. My daughter, Katie, she just turned 18. She just graduated from Castleberry High School, and she's about to start college. And then my youngest son, Henry, is about 21 months old. He's a couple months away from being 2. I have 2 granddaughters, Emery and Hagen. Obviously, they belong to Amron and Chastity up here. And then we also have 2 fur babies that run around the house here, Tucker and Bella. Some of the things I like, some of the things I'm into, some things I like to do. I'm a big sports fan. When I was younger, I loved to play baseball. My favorite sport to watch is football. My favorite sport to coach is actually basketball. Hobbies, I like to fish. I've got a little boat. I like to get out on the lake, do a little fishing during the summertime. I also like to do a little woodworking around the house, building furniture and different arts and crafts and stuff like that. Texas country, I love country music. If you're going to be in my classroom very much this year, you're probably going to hear quite a bit of this playing over the computer. So hopefully you dig a little country music as well. Love to eat, and barbecue is my favorite thing to eat. I love ribs, I love chicken, I love brisket, I love sausage, you name it. If you can barbecue it, I'll eat it. Candy, like chocolate, Airhead Extremes are my favorites. My favorite sports teams, I pretty much stick to the local teams around here. I like the Cowboys, I like the Mavs, I like the Rangers. But when it comes to college football, man, I'm a Gator fan. Florida Gators are my favorite college football team. I like to watch movies, anything funny. That's what I want to watch. I don't want to watch nothing scary. I don't want to watch no love stories, nothing that's going to make me sad. I want to watch something that's going to make me laugh. But I will make an exception every once in a while, throw in a good sports movie like Remember the Titans. That's another one of my favorites. TV, don't get to watch much TV, but when I do, the show that's out right now that I like to watch Yellowstone, and then I'll go back and watch old reruns of Seinfeld as well. Favorite books, probably my 2 favorite books, I guess you could say they're both kind of related to Texas. Lonesome Dove, a good cowboy story, and then Isaac Storm down there is about the Galveston hurricane that hit Texas back in 1900. It's a good book I read when I first started teaching history, and it's still one of my favorites. Just so you know a little bit about my qualifications as a teacher, as an educator, what makes me qualified to teach you U.S. history. I've got some of the stuff listed here, and I know you probably don't care about a lot of this stuff, so we'll go through it real quick. I went to a private school on the west side of Fort Worth for high school. It's called Temple Christian School. Actually, it's on the east side of Fort Worth. While I was there, as you see down here, I did choir. I was in football. I played baseball, played basketball, ran track, all that good stuff. After I left Temple, Went to TCC, or TCJC as it was called back in those days. That was a little while ago. You see, that was back in 93, 95. And then I got my 4-year degree, my Bachelor of Arts in History, over at the University of Texas in Arlington. Then up here you can see that I'm a certified generalist 4 through 8. That means I'm, according to the state of Texas, qualified to teach 4th through 8th grade math, history, science, English, any of those things. But I'm going to stick to history. And then you see also there, it's got my ESL certification, which means I'm also qualified to work with students who speak English as a second language. Probably, I don't know, you may find this interesting, I don't know. My teaching experience, I've been doing this, you're going to be you guys, I will be in my 23rd year teaching. I've been doing this for 23 years now. My first 10, I went back to the school that I graduated from, and I got to teach there for 10 years. And as you can see down here, I taught Texas, U.S., taught world geography, even taught some girls PE down here, coached all of the sports, all that good stuff. Then after I left the private school, my first job in public schools was over in Lake Worth at Collins Middle School. I know probably a lot of y'all are familiar with that school over there. But when I went there, that's when I moved over to the girls' side of athletics. I taught a little math, taught a little U.S. history, and then as you see down here, I coached some girls volleyball, basketball, and worked with the track team as well. After that, I went to Brewer, which isn't too far down the road, and I spent 3 years there. I taught math, taught history again, still coached girls volleyball, basketball, and track. Then I moved to bug flying around here. See that? Anyways, back to where I was before I came to Marine Creek. I was over at Irma Marsh Middle School in Castleberry. And once again, you can kind of see the pattern here. I've been staying on this side of town pretty much the entire last 12, 13 years that I've been teaching. I spent 6 years at Irma Marsh Middle School. Went back to the boys' side here. I taught U.S. history, taught Texas history, taught boys PE, and then I was a football, basketball, and track coach there as well. And for 2 years, last year I taught 6th grade world cultures here at Marine Creek Middle School. This year I'll be teaching you guys U.S. history, and I'm still down there on the boys' side doing football, basketball, and track. And lastly, my why I do what I do. I love to learn. My wife calls me a nerd all the time. If I have my choice, if I've got the TV on, it's going to be on the History Channel. It's going to be on National Geographic, all that stuff. I like to learn. Even when I'm just sitting back trying to relax here at home, I'll turn that TV on. I like educational programs. I love kids. All right, you don't do this for 23 years if you don't like kids. Two of my kids are grown. Now I've got little Henry, who's almost 2 years, so looks like I'm going to be in this for a while. I love being around kids. I love working with kids. And what I really like is when those kids grow up and become adults and they come back and talk to me, and we get to talk about all the great stuff that they're doing in their lives. And I like to know that I had a little bit of a part in that. And because I love sports, I'm not going to lie. Coaching is a big deal to me. I love teaching, but I don't know if I'd love teaching enough if I didn't get to do a little coaching on the side as well. So I love sports, and it just makes me happy. That's what I like doing, and so I'm sticking with it. Why Marine Creek Middle School? As you can see there, I've been at 5 different schools over the last 23 years, and to be honest, I wanted to come over here to Marine Creek. This is, the community is my community. This, like I said, I stayed on this side of town for pretty much the entire time that I've lived in the state of Texas. I've been here in West and Northwest Fort Worth, so this is home to me, and this is where I wanted to be. I wanted to be part in starting something great. This is our 2nd year here. Last year was our 1st year. This is kind of like year 1B, because we didn't even get to finish it last year, really. And I wanted to get in here to Marine Creek and be on the ground floor of starting this new school and starting some traditions and starting something great here. And I believe in the vision of this school, which is to teach you kids how to be successful in this crazy world we're living in now. Real quickly, I want to point this out to you. If you want to hit pause maybe for a second and write this down, this is my email address. This is going to be your best way to communicate with me. All right. I know in Canvas there's a little button where you can shoot an email to your teachers real quick, but sometimes we don't always see that because we're going back and forth between our regular email and our Canvas email. So if you can shoot me a message, if you need to get a hold of me, use the school main email address. It's right here on the screen, wmassey@emsisd.net, and that goes straight to my phone. So pretty much no matter where I'm at, it'll come right to me, and I try to get back to you as soon as I can. All right, so that is the end of my little get to know me presentation. Real quick before I let you go, I know this has already been like 10 or 11 minutes, and I'm going to try to keep my videos shorter in the future, but I just kind of wanted to get a chance to introduce myself to you real quick. I want to go over Canvas real quickly for you. I know some of you are already familiar with it. So when you go to your home, to your dashboard or your home screen, when you get into Canvas, you're going to see my class. It's going to have the American flag here, and it's going to say U.S. History. You're going to click to that, and it's going to take you to my homepage. And to tell you, it's got course information here. You can pull this up, and it's going to tell you everything you need to know about the course. You can pull this up here. It's a little information about me, just like I just explained to you. Here's some Canvas tutorials. You got some other resources over here. But the main things that I want you to be able to see is how am I going to count you present? How am I going to take attendance? And where are you going to find your assignments? So if you'll come right over here and click on this modules button, it's going to take you to a page that looks just like this right here. Anytime you see one of these that says attendance, you need to click on that and you need to complete that day. So this one here says 8:20. It has to be completed on 8:20 for me to count you present for that day. You see the next one here, 8:21. That's Thursday and Friday. So make sure every day you come in, get into my class, and you make sure you take care of that attendance assignment. It's one question. There's no right or wrong answer. It's a question for you. It's an opinion question. You just type your answer in there. I see that you were here for the day. I can count you present. And then you see down here, you'll be able to come down here and click on this right here tells you this is for tomorrow, or actually today if you're watching this on Thursday. This is for August 20th. This is for August 20th. You're going to want to click on these, go to them. The assignments will be there, and you'll be able to get in there, take care of those assignments, follow the instructions on there. They all should be pretty simple for you, and stay on top of your work for me. Okay, that's really all there is for today. This assignment down here, if you'll click on that here in just a little bit, it lays out the assignment for you. You're going to have a few days to take care of that. So once you've watched this video and you look at this assignment here, you can get started on it if you want to. You can save it for later if you want to. That's up to you. That's it for today. Tomorrow, there'll be a much shorter video, and it will basically go over what we're going to be covering this year in U.S. history, and it's also going to walk you through the process of how to get into your online textbook. So, like I said, if you have any questions, feel free, shoot me an email. Please use that school email address. If you just can't get to it and you have to shoot me one in Canvas, that's fine. I'll try to stay on top of those as well, but that's the best way to get a hold of me. So, sorry I took up so much of your time. Hope to get to see you guys pretty soon. Have a good night.